Larry Johnson, and I do a lot of management training around the country. And one of the common complaints I hear from managers is that within their corporate culture, there are those who don't take the responsibility and are accountable for the jobs they need to get done. And it drives them crazy because, you count on those people. And I'm wondering if that's a problem that you might have. And so I want to talk about what you can do as a manager, whether it be as a overall manager or for a team leader, or maybe you work in a matrix organization and you have a kind of a loose team that, you say, well, I don't know, I guess that I'm their leader right now and next week it'll be somebody else. But there are some things that as leaders we can do to ensure that people, or at least raise the odds that people will take responsibility to do the jobs they're assigned and to do them without you nagging at them about it. So I would suggest that the first thing you do, and let me bring a slide up here, is to think about each person who who maybe is giving you this kind of a problem, and complete the sentence that's at the bottom of the slide there that says, I would be more effective working with blank if. I would be more effective working with blank if. And I'll give you 30 seconds of silence just to think about that and maybe jot it down if you want. Okay, now if you completed this sentence by starting right after the word if with the word he or she, you might want to think about how you're approaching this problem. Because whoever this person is, let's say it's Bob. Do you think that Bob is going to wake up one morning and have an epiphany and say, I haven't been accountable to as I should. I don't take responsibility when things go wrong. I need to step up to the plate more often. The chances of that happening are probably right around zero. So you might want to think about changing that pronoun from he or she to I. And what can you do? What can you do to raise the odds that Bob, or whoever we're talking about, will take more responsibility, be more accountable, to see that his reports are in on time, that he's dealing with customers in a proactive way, that he gets his all his work done, that he doesn't dump stuff on team members, that he sort of carries his weight. So one way to start this off then is to ask yourself, is Bob aware of what he should be doing? And you say, well, of course he is, well, maybe not. Maybe you haven't expressed your expectations of him clearly. So I would suggest that a good place to start is to clarify your expectations of Bob, or the Bobs in your life. And I look at expectations in kind of three ways. On the job, anyway, there are those expectations that fall into the category of duties. You expect Bob to do his job. Excuse me on that. My cell phone just went off. You expect Bob to do the duties that he has been assigned. And most of those should be in the job description, although we all know that the real duty is the one that says other duties as assigned, which kind of leaves it open to a bunch of stuff, which is okay. But does Bob understand that the other duties include him? I'll give you an example. I have an assistant, and she does a great job, and she's been with me now for many years. But when she started, she was quite young, and her job was to run our office. And there's not many people around in our office on most days, because most of us are trainers, and we're out somewhere around the country doing the training. So her job is to sort of manage stuff in the office. And one of the things she was responsible for was to manage emails that came in requesting information. And so one day I'm out on the road and I get a call, from one of our clients, and he said, "Larry, I'm surprised I didn't hear from you. We sent you an RFP, and you never got back to me. Don't you want to do some training for us?" And I said, "Oh, you bet. Always looking for business." And he said, "Well, I never got your RFP, and I sent you an email." I said, "Well, did you send it to my personal email or to the office?" And he said, "To the office." I said, "Okay, so something had happened that I didn't get that message." So I talked to the assistant, and it turns out that on the day that this request came in, our computer system was down, and my assistant was on the phone with the help desk most of the day, trying to get it up and running again, and uh, and she did, and that's good. But she never thought to that maybe there were messages that came in, or maybe we missed stuff, and to bring that to my attention so that we could make sure that nothing fell through the cracks. And so consequently, something fell through the cracks. So I had to back up and explain to her that her job was more than just to manage the incoming messages. It was also to manage the possibility that of things going wrong, and to think kind of beyond the box. And so after that, she understood that that was an expectation, and she has since then done a really good job of it. So I have to ask myself, am I clear about the duties that I expect people to perform and be accountable for? Also goals, and goals are those things, those achievements that you want to see your employees achieve. And so you want to make sure that you're clear about what you expect in that arena. I worked with a CEO of a chemical company who had an interesting approach in this area. He told every person who he hired that he expected them to not be in the job they're being hired for within 2 years. In other words, he expected them to move up in the corporation, or to move out, not necessarily to get fired, but to perhaps look for other work if there's nothing else for them to do. Now, that's pretty, that may be scary for some of us who don't like turnover, but his idea was that when you encourage people to grow, you get better performance out of them. They appreciate it, and they benefit. So you might want to think about, have you been clear about what you expect your employees to do, and clear with them in terms of their own personal growth? And finally, professional practices. And professional practices are those practices that get the job done. It's not just what you do, but how you do it. Your habits at coming to work during the day, and how you get your tasks done during the day. Those are the things that very often drive us the craziest when somebody is letting us down in terms of our perception of their accountability. Now, this is the first in a series of short videos that I'm going to be posting about once a week on my website. So in next week's session, we will talk about specific professional practices and what you can do to raise the odds that they're not letting you down and that they're exceeding your expectations. Until then, do give me a call if you have any questions, and you can reach me at 602-943-0985, or email me, Larry at larry-johnson.com, or Larry at larryjohnsonspeaker.com. Either one will work. Until next week, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.